Hi, welcome back to Whitewater Ski Resort and Backcountry Skiing Canada's Avalanche Conditions Report. It's February 1st, 2018, and I've got John Buffery with me today from the Ministry of Transportation and Infrastructure to talk about our avalanche conditions.
Hi everybody, yeah, Wren, thanks a lot. That was really great. I've been watching your blog, I'm really excited about it. I think this duty to people to help them know about the safety in the backcountry is really important. My role right now is with the Ministry of Transportation. I'm the Senior Avalanche Officer. I also do some moonlighting as a guide, a snowboard guide for different people, and the CAA.
So it's been a very interesting year this year with the different layers we've had. Starting out in December, we had the big surface hoar layer that has become now a deep persistent layer. We're still seeing some test results on that. And more recently, the January 16th surface hoar melt freeze crust has still been proving to be a persistent wheat layer, getting deeper now, probably a meter and a half down. We're standing in a historical avalanche run out here, evidenced you can see by the bent trees, broken over trees, lots of different signs of avalanche activity. I wanted to talk to John today and just get a bigger perspective as to what the kind of things that he's been seeing this winter.
Yeah, Wren, I agree with you. I'm really happy to hear that you're getting this out to people and watching what's going on around the province. There's a huge avalanche cycle with so much uncertainty, with all the layers that Wren has just described, popping out randomly. Bigger loads, some not, some natural, right to the ground in spots. A lot of the areas are noticing these historical avalanche paths running longer and bigger than anything they've ever seen in history, taking out forests. Travis Rice just called me a while ago wanting to do another film. I'm like, dude, I think about going somewhere else this year. Last year was great. This year is not the year to be out in big terrain that's not safe, for real.
I think what we're seeing too is that we have to increase our safety margins. So typically when we're traveling in through the forest and we think we're beyond the trim line where the historical avalanche paths go, we need to go beyond those areas. And this is just not the year to be stepping out at all.
I agree. I mean, being here at Whitewater, what an amazing winter so far. It's been fantastic. You guys keeping everybody safe? That's what I'd be doing. I'd be riding inside the area boundaries. If you know an area really well, you might be able to go out into really good, safe terrain. But it's tricky. All the guides, everybody's really walking around with tender foot.
And I think that it's all about terrain right now. So getting a good handle on the terrain, staying in simple terrain. I just taught an avalanche course for the Canadian Avalanche Association last week, and we went out every day, but we traveled in low angle, simple terrain, and with all the fresh snow, it's been fantastic skiing. We've had close to 1.5 meters of snow in the last week, which has certainly contributed to the load on these weak layers. But if you can choose your terrain wisely, you can still travel. But without some experience to help you make those decisions, again, it's a time to be really cautious.
It's like good cop, bad cop. Wren's giving you all the good answers and I'm just giving you the reality. So yeah, for sure, if you can select the good terrain, but again, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty out there, so just be wise.
One of the terms that we think about is a low probability and a high consequence. And right now, in the lower layers, we're starting to see the December 15th heal, although there's still evidence. We're still getting sudden test results deep down in the snowpack. So there's some healing that's happening, but we just have no confidence in it. We're still very suspicious of it, and we're seeing this week in our region some size 3, a size 4, some explosive controlled, some natural avalanches. So huge avalanches, like Buff was saying. So very low probability, but very high consequence if these go. We had a wind event on Monday night, and with all the storm snow, it loaded these slopes up above us. We've been in this area for these videos before. This is Cougar's Claw and the Hummer chutes. Again, we had two plus meter crowns, and it doesn't seem like people are getting the message. People are getting in and jumping into the Hummer chutes, skiing, you know, Cougar's Claw and Nellies, these extreme lines, which most years are fine to ski, but this isn't the year to get in there and be jumping into those. So great time to take a course at Whitewater here. Certainly come talk to us in the forecasting office. We're happy to share the information we have.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some backcountry walking and some split boarding at the Cold Smoke Festival in 3 weeks, I think February 21.
February 23rd, third week in
There we
February.
go.
I think it's the 23rd to the 5th. Both Buff and I will be leading clinics, and there's lots of different options for different inbounds clinics, out-of-bounds clinics, lots on avalanche safety and terrain and route finding and travel. So check out the Whitewater website, check out the cold smoke clinic options, and come sign up for a course.
See you there.
So today Avalanche Canada is calling the avalanche hazard considerable at alpine tree line and below tree line, and we were just discussing what considerable means.
Yeah, I think, you know, when we talk about a considerable avalanche hazard, it's a considerable avalanche hazard. This year, as we've been discussing, with the consequences mixed with a considerable avalanche hazard, again, just to reiterate, if an avalanche does occur, it's going to be big, and when it's considerable, it's a considerable hazard.
So the definition of considerable is dangerous avalanche conditions, and we end up spending most of the winter in considerable, and that's probably the hardest time to figure out when it's safe to go and not. When the avalanche hazard is high, people are worried about that and they don't go, and when the avalanche hazard is low, it's easy to figure out. But when you're in that range of considerable, that's the hardest time, and that's when most accidents happen. So again, we just want to caution people, there is still dangerous avalanche conditions out there.
Indeed.
Thanks for tuning in to Whitewater Ski Resort and Backcountry Skiing Canada's Avalanche Conditions Report. We'll be back in a couple weeks for another report, and come on out to the Cold Smoke Festival. We're expecting another 5 to 10 centimeters of snow tonight. Skiing is phenomenal right now, so come on up. And thanks again, Buff, for coming and joining me for today.
Yeah, girl. High five. That was awesome. Thanks. Really great.